Okay, this is the problem. Design combined footing for two columns C1 and C2 having sizes 400 mm by 400 mm and 500 mm by 500 mm and carrying loads 500 kilonewton and 800 kilonewton respectively. The smaller column is 0.4 meter away from the property line. The columns are 4 meter apart. The bearing capacity of soil is 140 kilonewton per meter square and use M20 concrete and Fe415 steel. This particular distance between C1 and C2 is 4 meter and the distance of the center line of this particular column C1 from the property line is 0.4 meter. This is 0.4 meter. Okay, so this is the restriction over the width of your footing in longitudinal direction, and we have to design this particular footing which is having two columns C1 and C2 and carrying a load of 500 kilonewton on C1 and 800 kilonewton on C2. Okay, so we have to solve this particular problem. Okay, so we'll start with the given data. So step 1 is given data. Okay, what is the given data? First is size of columns. Okay, so first size of C1 is given as 400 mm by 400 mm. Okay, size of C2 is given as 500 mm by 500 mm. Load on C1, this is given as 500 kilonewton. Let us consider this as W1, and load on C2, this is equal to 800 kilonewton. This is equal to 800 kilonewton. Let us consider this as W2. Again, some data is given, that is the distance between two columns. So distance between columns, let us consider this as small l. This is given as 4 meter. Okay, again the value of your this value we consider this as projection A1. Okay, we consider this projection as A1, and this is given as 0.4 meter. This particular distance is given as 0.4 meter. Okay, so we have A1 is equal to 0.4 meter. Again, some data is given. For example, we have Fy, that is strength of steel or tensile strength of steel as 415 Newton per mm square. That is, this is for Fe415. This is for Fe415. Again, FCK, that is characteristic strength of your concrete, is given as 20 Newton per mm square. Okay, this is for M20 concrete. This is for M20 concrete. Okay, now we know that for Fe415, we have XU max upon D, that is this ratio is equal to 0.48. This ratio is 0.48, and we also know that for Fe415, we have this RU. This value is given as 0.138 into FCK. 0.138 into FCK. Put the value of this FCK here. We get 0.138 into FCK is 20 Newton per mm square. So we get this value RU is equal to 2.762. Okay, up to this point I don't think everything is as per previous problem. Okay, now step number 2. Step number 2 is to find area of footing. Okay, This is the second step. Let us consider that the center of gravity of your load is acting at a distance x bar from the center, from the column C1. Let us consider if this is your footing. Okay. If this is your footing and this is your footing, this is your column C1, this is your column C1, this is your column C2. Okay. Let us consider the center of gravity of this particular footing. Just a minute. I will draw this C2 somewhere here. Okay, this is your C2. This particular distance is 4 meter. This particular distance is given as 4 meter. Okay, this distance from the edge of this footing to the center line of your column C1, A1 is equal to 0.4 meter. 0.4 meter. Okay, let us assume that the center of gravity of this particular the load acting on C1 and C2 is G1. Let us consider this as G1 or consider this as G only. We consider this as G. Okay, this is G. Okay, this is the CG of load acting on C1 and C2. Let us consider this particular distance is x bar. This particular distance is x bar. Okay, so what we are considering, let us, okay, this particular distance is x bar. We are assuming that the center of gravity of these two loads which are acting on C1 and C2 is acting at point G, which is at a distance small x bar from the center line of C1. Therefore, we know that this distance x bar is given by W2 into L divided by W1 plus W2. W2 into L divided by W1 plus W2. ओके, ये फॉर्मूला हमने जब थ्योरी पार्ट लिया था तब इसको ये कैसे आया ये कैलकुलेट किया था हमने. ओके, सो वी हैव W2 इज इक्वल टू 800 किलो न्यूटन मल्टीप्लाइड बाय लेंथ L इज 4 मीटर. दिस डिस्टेंस is 4 meters. So multiplied by 4 divided by 500 W1 plus W2 is 800 kilonewton. So this x bar comes out to be 2.46 meter. This x bar comes out to be 2.46 meter. This particular distance is 2.46 meter. So this x bar is 2.46 meter. We have this A1 already given in the problem, that is equal to 0.4 meter. Now the basic assumption behind solving this design on combined footing is that the load is acting the center of gravity of load will coincide with the CG of your footing, means your load will be acting at the center of this particular footing. Okay, so this distance should be L by 2. The distance of this CG should be L by 2. This distance should be L by 2. Okay, so we can write this like this also. L, small l, that is 4 meter plus A2 minus x bar is equal to L by 2. We can write this. Okay, this A2 is the distance, this projection is A2. Okay, that is the distance from the end of this right end of this footing to the center of this column C2. This distance is considered as A2. Now we know that L is equal to 4 meter plus A2, we don't know this value, minus we know this x bar, this is 2.46 meter. Again L by 2 we have, just a minute. Okay, we can like write this particular equation like this. Okay, just a minute. We have calculated up to this, that is A1 is equal to 0.4 meter. Now we have to calculate the length of your footing. We know that this center of gravity will be acting at a distance L by 2 from both the ends. Will be acting at a distance L by 2 from the both the ends, because the center of gravity of your footing must coincide with the center of gravity of your load. Okay, now we can write this equation like this also. 2 into x bar plus A1, this is equal to L. Okay, because this x bar plus A1 should be this x bar plus A1, this 2 should be equal to L by 2. This should be equal to L by 2. Just I am taking this divided by 2 on the left hand side. So this equation is obtained. Therefore 2 into x bar is 2.46 meter plus we know this value A1 0.4 meter. So this is equal to L. So we get the value L is equal to 5.72 meter. 5.72 meter. Okay, so like this we can calculate the value of capital L, that is the length of your footing. This distance is L. This we have already calculated now as this L is equal to 5.72 meter. 5.72 meters. Now again we can write another equation like this. This small l plus A2 minus x bar, this is equal to capital L by 2. This is equal to capital L by 2. How this equation is obtained? We know that this particular distance, this particular distance is L by 2. This particular distance is L by 2, but this is equal to this distance is again equal to this much. Okay, L plus A2 minus x bar. This L plus A2 minus this particular distance x bar will get L by 2. Therefore put the value, all required values. We don't know the value of A2. We don't know the value of A2, but we know L. So 4 plus A2 minus x bar is 2.46 meter. That is equal to, we have L is equal to 5.72 meter divided by 2. We solve this equation, we will get A2 is equal to 1.32 meter. 1.32 meter. So this particular distance A2 is 1.32 meter. So we get this A2. So we have calculated x bar is equal to, 2.46 meter. A1 is equal to 0.4 meter. This is given in the problem. A2 is equal to 1.32 meter. Okay, so we these values are calculated. Now we have to calculate the width of our footing. Okay, width of footing. Let us consider, just a minute. Let us consider the width of footing is given by capital B. Let us consider the width of footing is given by capital P. We have this W1 is equal to 500 kilonewton. W2 is equal to 800 kilonewton. W2 is equal to 800 kilonewton. Now let us consider the self weight of our footing. The self weight of our footing, this is equal to Ws. This is equal to Ws, and we know that Ws, self weight of footing, is 10% of total load. 10% of total load on both the columns. So this is equal to 10 divided by 100. 10 divided by 100 multiplied by 500 kilonewton W1 plus 800 kilonewton W2. So this is equal to Ws, that is self weight of our footing. This will be equal to 130 kilonewton. This is equal to 130 kilonewton, and therefore total load will be equal to W1 plus W2 plus W3. So we have W1 is equal to 500 kilonewton, W2 is 800 kilonewton, and this is not W3, this is Ws. This is Ws, that is self weight of our footing. This is self weight of our footing. So Ws. So this is equal to 130. This is equal to 130 kilonewton. Therefore total load will be equal to, this total load, this will be equal to how much? This will be 1430 kilonewton. 1430 kilonewton. Again we know that the area of your footing, A, this is given by the formula. Area of footing A is equal to total load divided by bearing capacity of soil. Bearing capacity of soil, bearing capacity of soil. So we have total load is equal to 1430 kilonewton, right? The bearing capacity of soil is given as 140 kilonewton per meter square. Okay, so this area of footing will be equal to, we get area of footing is equal to 10.21 meter square, 10.21 meter square. But we have already calculated the length of our footing as 5.72. Therefore, we can calculate the width of our footing. We know area of footing is equal to B into L. We have the area of footing as 10.21. We don't know the width of footing B, but we know the length of our footing. Therefore, length of our footing is 5.72 meter, which we have already calculated. Therefore, we'll get this value B, that is width of our footing, is equal to 1.78 meter. 1.78 meter. Now let us consider this is nearly equal to or approximately equal to, let us consider 2 meter. We consider this width of footing B is equal to 2 meter. So this is how we will be calculating the width of our footing. Okay. Now we have to just draw the diagram how this footing is looking now. Okay. Okay, sorry. Okay, so this is our C1, this is our C2. Okay, and in plan, if we see in the plan, it will be something like this. Okay, this is something like this. We have this A1, we have column C1 like this here, column C2 somewhere like this here. Okay, this distance A1 is equal to 0.4 meter. This distance A2, okay, this is 1.32 meter. This distance small l, this is equal to 4 meter. Okay, again we know this distance as, this distance is 2 meter, that is B, capital B, this is capital B. Okay, the column size C1, we have C1 is equal to 0.4 by 0.4. Okay, right, 0.4 by 0.4. Therefore, this distance, this particular distance will be 2 minus 0.4 divided by 2. 2 minus 0.4 divided by 2. So this will comes out to be 0.8 meter. This will be 2 minus 0.4 divided by 2. So this will be 0.8 meter. Okay, and this particular distance, this distance will be 2 minus 0.5 divided by 2. 2 minus 0.5 divided by 2. So this will comes out to be 0.75 meter. So this is equal to 2 minus 0.5 divided by 2. Okay, so this is how our footing will look like. This total length, capital L, is equal to 5.72 meter. I think just this is capital L is 5.72 meters. Okay, so this is our footing dimensions. Now we have to check, we have to take the check for different checks for depth and depth. Okay, now to calculate the depth of our footing, we should know the upward soil pressure. Now therefore we will calculate the upward soil pressure now. Okay, we have now the upward soil pressure okay, this will be equal to total load of columns divided by total load of columns divided by area of footing divided by area of footings. So this is equal to, we have total load is equal to 500 plus 800 kilonewton. 500 is on C1 and 800 is on C2. Area of our footing is 2, width multiplied by length, that is length is 5.72 meter, length is 5.72 meter. Therefore we get this upward soil pressure, Is my screen visible now? We get this upward soil pressure. This is equal to, we'll get this as 113.64 kilonewton per meter square. My screen is visible now? Is my screen visible? Is my screen visible? Okay. So we have calculated the upward soil pressure. Now we have to calculate the factored soil pressure. We have to calculate the factored soil pressure. We have factored soil pressure. What we have to do? We have to just multiply this value with 1.5. Will be equal to 1.5 into upward soil pressure. Okay, so this is equal to 1.5 into 113.64. Okay, so we get this factored soil pressure as 170.5 kilonewton per meter square. 170.5 kilonewton per meter square. But this pressure is in kilonewton per meter square. But for calculating the bending moment and shear force, we need this load in terms of kilonewton per meter. Therefore we can get this value in kilonewton per meter by multiplying this particular 170.5 multiplied by width of our footing. So we'll get the kilonewton per meter load acting along the width of length of our column in longitudinal direction. Therefore the upward soil pressure per unit length, this is equal to factored soil pressure. This is equal to factored soil pressure multiplied by width of our footing. So we have factored soil pressure as 170.5 kilonewton per meter square and width of our footing is 2. So we get the upward soil pressure per unit length in equal to 341 kilonewton per meter. 341 kilonewton per meter. Next step is step number 2. Now we have to go to step number 2. We have step number 2. Step number 2 is calculation of bending moment and shear force. Okay, only up to this point this particular problem is different, and further steps are same as that of the previous problem, but I'll take this problem till the end of this particular lecture, and from next lecture we'll start with some different design. Okay, so I wanted to show up to this point only, but we'll solve further up till the end of this particular lecture. Okay, so we have to calculate the bending moment and shear force. Okay, now while calculating the bending moment and shear force, what we are assuming? We are assuming that this particular footing is acting like a beam which is resting on two different columns. Okay, so the load from this column W1 will be transferred here, that is equal to 500 kilonewton. Okay, let us convert this into factored load. We'll get this as 500 multiplied by 1.5 1.5. So this will be equal to 750 kilonewton. This will be equal to 750 kilonewton, and here again the load acting is 800 kilonewton. So 1.5 multiplied by 800. So this will be equal to how much? I think 1200 kilonewton. 1200 kilonewton. 1200 kilonewton. Okay. Now there is some upward soil pressure which is acting along the length of column, that is equal to 341 kilonewton per meter. 341 kilonewton per meter. So apply upward soil pressure of 341 kilonewton per meter load. This is equal to 341 kilonewton per meter. Okay. This projection A1, we already know this A1 is equal to 0.4 meter. This A1 is 0.4 meter. This small l, that is the length between these two columns, is equal to 4 meter. And we have already calculated this A2. We have this A2 is equal to 1. So this is like this will be representing the footing. Okay. Now what we are assuming that the footing is acting like a beam which is subjected to this 341 kilonewton per meter load. Just a minute, I have a call. Hello. Hello. हाँ सर, हो हाँ हाँ हो हाँ हो हो हाँ लेक्चरमध्ये आहे मी. लेक्चर झालं का आपण? हो लेक्चर झालं का? Okay, so what we are assuming is that we are assuming this particular footing is acting like a beam which is subjected to this 342 kilonewton per meter upward soil pressure which is acting in upward direction. It is again subjected to two vertically downward loads from the column, that is this 750 kilonewton factored load and 1200 kilonewton this factored load. Okay. Now we have to draw the bending moment and shear force diagram. For that we have to calculate the bending moment and shear forces. We have to calculate the bending moment and shear forces. Now to calculate the bending moment and shear force, I will write here only. Okay. Okay. Now let us consider step 2B1. Step 2B, step 2B. Just a minute. Step 2, under that A. Okay, let us consider A, shear force calculation. Shear force calculation. Shear force calculation. Okay, shear force calculation. Now shear force. Let us consider this point is this point is A, this point is B, this point is P, and this point is Q. Okay, so shear force at P, this will be equal to 0 definitely, because there is no load on the left hand side of P. Okay, shear force at A, assuming that the section is on just left hand side of A. Okay, we are assuming that the section we are considering is on the left hand side of A, like this. Okay, so shear force will be, the shear force will be positive, negative. This will be positive shear force of this 341 kilonewton per meter load multiplied by this particular distance. So this particular distance is 0.4 meter. So we get this shear force at A is equal to 136.4 kilonewton. 136.4 kilonewton. Okay, now shear force at A, considering that section is on right hand side of A. Okay, we are now considering the section is here. Therefore the shear force will be total shear force developed due to this 341 kilonewton per meter load and this particular 750 kilonewton factored load, 750 kilonewton factored load. So this will be equal to 341 into 0.4. Okay, this will be 341.0.4 minus 750. So we'll get this value as minus 613.6 kilonewton, minus 613.6 kilonewton. Now shear force at B, but section is on left hand side, LHS of B. We are considering the section on left hand side of B, that is here. Okay, this will be our section shown by this black line. Okay, so this will be equal to shear force due to this 341 kilonewton per meter upward soil pressure, and this 800 kilonewton. The shear force due to this 341 kilonewton per meter load, that will be negative because it is acting like this, and the shear force due to this 1200 kilonewton load, that will be positive because it is acting like this. Okay, so this will be equal to 1200, this 1200 kilonewton load minus 341 multiplied by this distance. We know that this particular distance is 1.32 meter, 1.32 meter. So 1.32, so this will be equal to 749.88 kilonewton, 749.88 kilonewton. And shear force at B, we are considering that the section is on RHS or right hand side of B, Okay, we are now considering the section like this. So this will be equal to, the shear force will be developed only due to this upward soil pressure only. The upward soil pressure will be, and that will be in negative direction. So this will be equal to minus 341 multiplied by 1.32. So this will be equal to minus 450.12 kilonewton, Again, the shear force at point Q, okay, this point is Q. So this will be equal to 0. Therefore, the shear force diagram, if we draw the shear force diagram, the shear force diagram will be something like this. We have at A, I think it is 138, this value, 136. So draw like this, 136.4. Again here it will go in downward direction. The next is minus 613, so this will be 613.6. Here again I think we have plus 749, so this will be 749.88 kilonewton. We can join these 2 points, and here the shear force is minus 450. So 450.12. So this is negative, this is positive, and this is negative. Okay, in some of the books the sign conventions are used in opposite manner, that is I have used clockwise as positive, then in some books the sign conventions are considered as negative. You can draw anything, you can consider any of both. Okay, so this is how our shear force diagram is. This is shear force diagram. This is our shear force diagram. Now we have to draw the bending moment diagram. For that we have to calculate the bending moments. This is our footing, which is subjected to a factored load of, here I think 750 kilonewton factored load. Here it is 1200 kilonewton factored load. It is subjected to one upward soil pressure of 341 kilonewton per meter. Okay, just a minute. this distance is 0.4 meter, this distance is 0.4 meter, this particular distance is 4 meter, this distance is 4 meter, and this distance is 1.32 meter. Okay, this distance is 1.32 meter and this total distance is 5.72 meter. We have to draw the bending moment diagram for this. This point is A, this point is B. Let us consider this as P and this is as Q. Now bending moment at P, will be equal to 0. Bending moment at A, bending moment at this point A, this will be equal to, okay, the bending moment will be due to this 341 kilonewton per meter load only, and the formula, if we consider this part as a cantilever part, this part as a cantilever part, then the bending moment will be WL square upon 2. Therefore the bending moment will be WL square. W we have 341 multiplied by L is 0.4 meter square divided by 2. So this bending moment at point A, this will be equal to this bending moment at point A, that will be equal to 27.3 kilonewton meter, 27.3 kilonewton meter. Now bending moment at point B, this will be equal to, let us consider the right portion. Let us consider the right portion because it will be easy to consider the right portion. The bending moment at B will be again equal to WL square upon 2 because this particular portion BQ is a cantilever portion. Therefore bending moment at point B will be equal to again WL square upon 2. We have W is equal to 341 kilonewton per meter. L is 1.32 meter, so 1.32 square divided by 2. So we get this total bending moment at point B is equal to 297 kilonewton meter, 297 kilonewton per meter. So we have got the bending moment at point P, A, B. Bending moment at Q will be 0 again because it is the extreme end. Now, but one problem is here that this particular footing is not a symmetrical footing. That is, the columns are not placed in a symmetrical manner. Therefore, the point of zero shear will be somewhere between the point zero shear will be somewhere between A and B. It will not be at the center of A and B. Okay, so if we draw the shear force diagram here, okay, if we draw the shear force diagram, the shear force diagram was something like this. Okay, the shear force diagram was something like this. So point of zero shear is here. The point of, sorry, thoda, okay, just a minute. Okay, I'll just move this. Okay, I'll draw the bending moment diagram here only. Just a minute. Okay, this is our shear force diagram and the bending moment diagram will be something like this. The bending moment diagram will be, sorry, the bending moment diagram will be something like this. At point A we have bending moment 27. Okay, it will be a parabolic line. At point B, that is 297, so it will be something like this. This is 297 and this is 27.3. okay, now for the bending moment between this point A and this point B, bending moment between this point, स्क्रीन लैग होता है का? स्क्रीन लैग होता है का? ओके, स्क्रीन लैग होता है. नाही आता त्याला काही ऑप्शनच नाही आहे ऍक्च्युली. ओके, नाही त्याला काही ऑप्शन नाही आहे. ओके, आई विल कंटिन्यू. Okay, so bending moment between this point A and B, that will be negative bending moment. The shape of your bending moment diagram will be something like this. The shape of your bending moment diagram will be something like this. Okay, and this point of maximum bending moment, this point of maximum bending moment will be at a point where the shear force is zero, because your bending moment will be maximum when shear force is zero, and we have to find out this point, okay, where the shear force is zero. Now how we can find out this particular point? Okay, we know this these two triangles, that is for this shear force diagram, we know this, okay. By using similarity of triangles, we can find out the position of this zero shear. We can find out the position of this zero shear. Okay, I'll draw this triangle here. Okay, I'll draw this particular triangle. Okay, I'll draw this particular triangle here, triangles here. So these two triangles will be something like this. This is 613.6, this is 613.6, and this is 749.88 kilonewton shear force. This is positive shear force and this is negative shear force. Okay, we let us consider this particular distance. Let us consider this particular distance is x, this particular distance is x, and we know that this total distance is 4 meter, that is the distance between two columns. So therefore this distance will be 4 meter minus x. This distance will be 4 meter minus x. By using similarity of triangles, we can say that this 613.6 divided by this 613.6 divided by this 4 minus x, this 4 minus x, by using similarity of triangles, 4 minus x, this will be equal to this 749.88 divided by this x, okay. So this x, so we get the x value, x is equal to 2.2 meters. This x value is equal to 2.22 meter. Therefore the point of maximum bending moment, therefore we have got this particular value, as 2.2 meter, okay, and remaining value length will be, this length will be 1.8 meter, because total length is 4 meters. Okay, so this is how we have got the point of maximum bending moment. So maximum bending moment, the maximum bending moment will be at a distance 1.8 meter from the support A. So maximum bending moment will be something, will be acting something here. Now we have to calculate the maximum bending moment. Okay. Therefore we know that the maximum bending moment, the maximum bending moment is at a distance of 2.2 plus 1.32 meter from right end of your footing, right end of footing. Okay, therefore M max, that is maximum bending moment, is equal to, okay, we have our bending moment diagram like this, the loading diagram like this. Column is here having factored load 750, one second column is here having a load of 1200 kilonewton factored load. This particular distance is 0.4, this distance is 4 meter, this distance is 1.32 meter. Okay, the loading diagram is something like this. Okay, so this maximum bending moment will be at a distance, okay, the section is here and this particular distance is 2.2 plus 1.32, that is 3.52, I think 3.52 meter. So this is 3.52 meter. This distance is 3.52 meter, where bending moment is maximum there. Okay, so M max will be equal to, let us consider the right portion, therefore this will be 341. Okay, the bending moment will be bending moment due to this upward soil pressure, that will be 341 into L square, that is 3.52 square divided by 2. Okay, and the bending moment due to this 1200 kilonewton load. The bending moment due to this upward soil pressure will be positive, therefore 341 into this 3.52 square divided by 2, and bending moment due to this 1200 kilonewton column load, that will be negative, Okay, why? Because it is producing hogging moment, therefore minus 1200, and it is acting at a distance, I think this is acting at a distance of 2.2 meter. It is acting at a distance 2.2 meter. Okay, so this maximum bending moment M max, M max or maximum bending moment, this will be equal to, just solve this equation, you will get M max is equal to 527.43 kilonewton meter. Now what we have to do, this is the maximum bending moment, just write down the value here only. Okay, this maximum bending moment, this will be equal to 527. This is 527.43 kilonewton meter. But at the same time, we have to locate the point of contraflexure. Okay, the point of contraflexure is here. The first point of contraflexure is here, and the second point of contraflexure is here. Now we have to locate the point of contraflexure. We have to locate the points of contraflexures. To locate the point of contraflexure, okay, to locate the point of contraflexure, let us assume that there is some point P where the point of contraflexure exists, okay, so we know that at point of contraflexure bending moment will be 0. At point of contraflexure bending moment is 0. Okay, now to find or locate point of contraflexure, let us assume point let us assume a point at a distance small p, from right end, where the bending moment is 0, right end. Okay, so we are assuming some point P here again. Okay, we don't know this particular distance, and we have to, okay, we are assuming some point P like this here, where the point of contraflexure will be there, and it is acting at a distance small p from the right end, Now we know at point of contraflexure, the bending moment, this will be equal to 0. The bending moment will be 0. Therefore, the bending moment at this point, at a distance which is at a distance small p from the right end, this is given by the bending moment due to this upward soil pressure 341 kilonewton per meter, that is 341 kilonewton per meter multiplied by length. It is acting for a distance p square divided by 2. Okay, the bending moment will be positive, and the negative bending moment will be due to this 1200 kilonewton load. Due to this 1200 kilonewton load, therefore minus 1200 multiplied by, okay, this distance. Now we know that this particular distance is p, but this distance will be 1.32. This distance will be just a minute. This distance is 1.32. Therefore, and we want this particular distance. So this particular distance, this will be equal to small p minus 1.32. So this is equal to 0. Why 0? Because we are considering that at this particular location bending moment is 0. That is, this is the point of contraflexure. So we get this value p. Solve this equation, we'll get the value p, or I'll solve up to one step. So divide this 341 by 2, it will be 170.5 multiplied by p square minus 1200 p plus 1584 this is equal to 0. Solve this equation, we'll get the value p. We'll get two values of p. Okay, first value of p, that will be equal to 1.76 meters, 1.76 meter, and second value of p will be equal to 5.275 meters. Okay, why two values of p? Because we are having 2 point of contraflexure. Okay, so first one is at a distance 1.76 meter, and the second one is at a distance 5.275 meter. Okay, so this point of contraflexure, so the point of contraflexure, this first point of this distance, this is already calculated as, just a minute. Okay, this is 1.76 meter. Okay, this is first point of contraflexure, and the second point of contraflexure is at a distance 275 meters, 5.275 meter from the right end. So up to this we have calculated the maximum bending moment. We have find out the point of location of point of contraflexure. Now we have to find out the depth of our footing. Okay, so step number 3, let us consider the step number 3. So step number 3 is find depth of footing. So we have, let us consider part A, from bending moment consideration. Okay, part B will be from one-way shear consideration, and part C will be two-way consideration. We know that we have the maximum bending moment M max is equal to 527.43 kilonewton meter. We can convert this into Newton mm. Okay, so this will be equal to 527.43 multiplied by 10 raised to power 6 Newton mm. Okay, and we know that the formula for calculating the depth of foundation is D required depth is equal to under root mu divided by RU into capital B. B is the width of your footing. Okay, this is equal to, okay, ये हमने पहले इक्वेशन में लिया है, कैसे कैलकुलेट किया है ये. So this is equal to 527.43 multiplied by 10 raised to power 6. We have already calculated the value of RU. RU is equal to 2.76 multiplied by width of footing is 2000 mm or 2 meter. So we get this value D required is equal to, 309.10 mm. Let us consider this is approximately equal to 310 mm. This is approximately equal to 310 mm. So we have calculated the required depth of our footing from the bending moment consideration. Okay, so shall we stop here?